Hi, so what do you wish you knew before turning 40? Are you 40 already? Are you about to turn 40? Or have you turned 40 a long, long time ago? What are some of the things that you wish you knew before turning 40? Well, I'm going to be 42, and I thought that 40s were going to be a lot different to how it actually is. When I was younger, I thought that when you're 40, you have pretty much everything figured out, that you aren't necessarily going to want to change career paths, or you aren't going to be learning many, many new things. I thought that you'd be very set. And obviously, it differs from individual to individual. I can't say that my journey is a one size fits all because obviously it is not. Every person has their own journey, as cliched as it is. It is true. But there are some things that I have learned since turning 40, and there are many things that I continue to learn. So let's get right into it. One thing I've learned for sure is that life isn't a race. It may feel like that. Sometimes you may feel like, oh, I just can't wait to get to this goal. I can't wait until I buy this car, or I can't wait to go on that holiday, and I can't wait for this to materialize. And yes, it's wonderful to have goals and dreams. Absolutely fantastic to have that. But what I've learned is that along the way, you also have to enjoy the process of getting there. Because a lot of the times I used to fixate on the goal, the destination, the what will actually happen once I get there. And then I would quickly get over accomplishing that particular goal and look to the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. But I've realized that, time passes and you can work so hard at your goal. You can work on your goal for years and be so invested in the day that you actually realize your goal instead of the moments leading to that goal. And that's equally important and equally enjoyable. So that's one thing I've learned, that it's not a race. It's not a race. And we can often feel so pressurized when we think of the other thing that I wish I knew before turning 40, and I've really, really understood this now, is prioritizing relationships. But obviously, prioritizing relationships that are really positive, that make you feel good about yourself, and where you make the other person feel good about themselves as well. Relationships which are nurturing and mutually beneficial, to really, really put in the effort and the time to maintain those relationships. Because even if you have a great relationship with a friend or a family member, but you don't actually invest that time and effort into the relationship, time can fly by and you wouldn't have actually seen that person in a really, really long time. So it's important to prioritize relationships that really, really feed your soul. And that's something that I think that I didn't prioritize as much as before turning 40. That I think that I could have prioritized more, especially family members who are getting older. You know now that time is really not on their side. So trying to spend as much time as possible with loved ones. Also wish I understood more what be your authentic self means. Firstly, when I hear be your authentic self, sometimes it can really sound absolutely cheesy. It does, right? I mean, what the heck is being your authentic self? But basically, it means, be who you truly are. Don't pretend to be somebody you're not to try to fit in. Why do that? You know, you have your own interests, your own hobbies, the things that you like, the things that you dislike. There's only one you in the world. And to someone that may just sound like, well, so what if there's only one me in the world? But that is so important when you really think about it. Why be a copy of somebody else when there is only one you in the world? Where there is only one person in the world who thinks like you, who reacts to the things the way that you do, the way that you do. And you are making your mark in this world just by being in it. And that's the other thing that I wish I knew before turning 40. You know, a lot of my life has been about, okay, academics and then the career. And often you can think, okay, my identity is around my career. And that's something I wish I knew that, no, actually, that does not define who I am. My identity is not, okay, I have studied this, I've worked at this, I've done this. That's not my identity. Those are things that I've done, but it's not my identity. Because sometimes when you perform well in your career, then that's great. But then sometimes if things go awry, then you can also be harder on yourself if you are linking your career, your job, etc. to your identity as a whole. So understanding that as well. And the other things that I think I wish I knew before turning 40 was that, you know, it's really, really okay to have different paths to other people or a different path to the norm of what life is or what society dictates to us. As long as you have a plan in mind, as long as you have savings, obviously, which is really, really important, always, always, always advocate for that, that it's okay to not follow things like it has to be A, B, C, D, E. No, you can go from A to C to G. You don't have to have everything in this particular pathway, you know. You really don't. But sometimes it can feel like you do. Sometimes the pressure to conform is there. Also, what wish I knew before turning 40 is that, you know what? The fun does not stop. The fun of life does not stop. You may have changed over the years, yes, your 20s, your 30s, but intrinsically you still are the same person. You're still you. The laughter doesn't stop. The joy doesn't stop. Creating the memories don't stop. And it's still all there for you to enjoy. And I also wish before turning 40 that I didn't have so much stress about turning 40 because I didn't like turning 40. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, oh, I was so thrilled to turn 40. No, I actually was really sad about turning 40. I was thinking, oh my word, I'm turning 40. And I just felt like I was saying goodbye to so many things, to parts of myself and my youth. And it was hard to say goodbye to all of that. But I didn't understand that, you know, life is enjoyable at every stage, and life is truly what you make of it at every stage. And I think that that's what I'm still understanding. And let me know if you have similar feelings or where you're like, oh, hey, I'm turning 40. This is going to be fantastic. Did you have that kind of mindset? Because if you did, wonderful. That's really great. But no, for me, it was like a slow transition. Almost like, nah, I don't want to be here. And, no, I want to still stay in my 30s. No, it was not like, oh, I'm going to like just leap into my 40s. No, it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that at all. And even now, I've got to like catch myself and think, oh, whoa, I'm turning 42. That's me turning 42. And it's like, obviously, I know, in my mind, I know I'm going to be 42. But in my heart and like emotionally, it feels so strange. It still feels strange because the thought of getting older and getting old is still a strange feeling for me. And I know that people who are older than me, like in my 70s and things, and they tell me, well, you know what, you're still young. So it's relative, isn't it? It is. I will say, though, that another thing that I wish I knew before turning 40 was that I was going to feel a lot more confident as I get older. Confidence in terms of, just knowing what I want out of life, or trying to do different things and just being more myself. And let me know, do you feel like you're getting more confident and more comfortable with who you are as you get older? Because I think in my 20s, it was like, okay, I'm trying to figure out who I am. And now it's like, yes, I know who I am, and I'm still learning new things, and it's fantastic. But I do feel like I'm more confident. Do you feel the same? Do you feel like you're more confident? You feel more capable? You feel like you can, that even when things go wrong or things happen that, are really, really sad, that you feel like you can navigate them better? I feel that. I feel that time has taught me that. And knowing that I've already been through difficult things helps me to know that I can get through other things if they are difficult. Because from my experiences, I know that even things that are sad or bad, they pass by, and joy is around the corner sometimes. It is there. And knowing that there is, makes me feel hopeful. It makes me feel hopeful. It makes me feel like I can navigate the lows in life, because there will be highs in life as well. And another thing I wish I knew before I turned 40 was that I was going to become more brave. I was not going to let fear dictate as much as it did in my 20s and 30s, because I would put off many things because I was too scared to take even calculated risks. But now in my 40s, no, I feel brave. I feel like I'm going to face life, I'm going to face the world, I'm going to face my fears. And if I fall, it's okay. If things really go totally off plan, that's okay. I'll find a way. I'll get through it. And I think that's been liberating. Being able to face my fears makes me feel like I can take on so much, and I can try so many things. And it's really made me feel very excited about life. Let us know in the comments, what do you wish you knew before turning 40? And what are some of the things that you would advise anyone who is turning 40? Thank you so much for watching, and if you'd like to watch this video about positive self-talk, please do. I think it's really a helpful video. Until next time, do like, share, and subscribe, and have a lovely, lovely week. Take care. Bye-bye.